So welcome to 45-minute Pilates class. We're gonna start today, I'm Gabby, I think I know you both. We're gonna start today kneeling. So I'm gonna kneel on the side, just so you can see kind of what's going on. And we're gonna just have our hands lightly on your lap. And try to get a long spine as you would in your yoga as much as you can, thinking of like, they call it energy coming from the top of your head and kind of grounding from the pelvis down. And with your hands just on your lap, take a few deep breaths through the nose and out of the nose to start. So any movement practice, it's nice to start grounded, kind of still, just kind of letting whatever's on your mind dissipate so we can kind of move with more intention. Good. Now I'll take your hands, are still soft on your knees. You're gonna find in your mind your rib cage and your pelvis. And for this next breath, on your exhale, try to get your rib cage and your pelvis closer together. So imagine your belly button becomes some sort of like funnel where all the air is being pulled through like a vacuum and there's a squeeze on the exhale. So the inhale, we're just coming to a long spine. Allow for some movement. There's no need to really arch the spine, but you could, like a cat-cow. Mostly about the exhale, cinching the corset around the ribs and imagining your belly button lifting. We're gonna do a lot of this on the mat. It's nice to start on the knees because you can feel how much movement there is. So breath in, you get longer. Breath out, cinch the waist in, and like you're lifting the hips up and in. So now we'll add on just by on your inhale, standing up onto your knees. And on your exhale, finding that same cinch. This is gonna include your butt and kind of your thighs. Stay lifted on your inhale. And on the exhale, like you're tipping the pelvis underneath you and the ribs back. Now we can add some movement. Your inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen your spine, let go of that squeeze. Exhale, lean back just a little to get the ribs to push back and the pelvis to squeeze in. Just 3 of those. Inhale. Exhale, leaning back, squeezing the pelvis under and the ribs in, getting that tight corset, getting used to that feeling. Last one, a breath in. And a breath out, a squeeze, a pushing forward of your hips. Nice, and have a seat back down onto your knees. So we'll shift over. So starting right away, coming onto your sitting bones and walking your feet out in front of you. Somewhere your feet are comfortable, the knees are bent, but not at a right angle. We don't want the feet too close. You want to be able to push your feet, but not rely on your feet completely. So on your sitting bones, really simple. Take your hands underneath your hamstrings. It's nice to even hold on to your clothes. We need some support for this one. They're waking up our arms and our back body. So lean back on your sitting bones just a little bit. We don't want to be up here arching the spine. Find that same like pull back of your ribs. Yeah, less exaggerated. And see if you can just stay here holding onto your pants. Nice. And then, so the elbows are a little bit bent. We're going to lengthen the arms and lean back, holding onto your pants or holding onto your thighs and round the ribs in. To come up, bend the elbows wide away from each other. Think of your triceps lighting up. Pull the weight of your torso back towards your thighs. When you get to the top, let that spine extend like you're pulling the sternum up. So really small movement, but really effective for the back body. So roll back. First, the ribs come in. Every inhale, you're straightening your arms. Like a pulley, rely on your arms to hold your weight. And exhale, bend the elbows really, really wide. Almost like they're lifting. Yeah, nice. And pull yourself back up. Notice how much you're using your feet and lighten the weight in your feet. Let's go for 2 more. On your inhale, first the ribs curl, then the arms lengthen. And on your exhale, pulling yourself up with the strength of your arms, chest lifts, the head lands in line with your pelvis. Last one, lengthening, arms long, squeeze the ribs back, pull up, zip up, like you're pulling up your pants almost kind of feeling. If you have tight pants, bend the elbows wide, chest lifts. And now just relax your arms for a second. The fingertips can touch the ground. Maybe shake out your knees. If you're feeling it a lot in your hip flexors, you can always lengthen your legs a little bit longer. So now we'll have the feet on the ground, same kind of concept, and take those sitting bones like you're pulling them underneath you, make the spine round. So it's not just a shoulder that's hunching, it's really that rib cage pulling back. Lean back and stretch your arms out, if you can, until the palms are right above your knees. Stretch the arms and let's roll the shoulders down, we say. So instead of having the shoulders high, take a big breath in. We're gonna lift one knee to touch your palm, but you're not taking the palm to the knee. So we're not depressing the hand, you're lifting one knee to your hand. It's okay if it's your wrist or your fingers. Take it down, lift the other one up. And we call this marching. It's nice to have the marker of your hand. A challenge with doing this is lifting your legs without changing too much in your body. If you don't feel it at all, we're just taking it lower and you'll definitely feel it. So tap the fingertips a little bit more than the wrists. Let's count down from wherever you are. Let's just do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lifting your knee, and 1. Give yourself a break. You can hold onto your shins or your ankles, bow your head, and extend from your head all the way to your low back. And then we're ready to come back up. Adding on to this, stretch your arms out really, really straight. Like your middle finger at the point is connected all the way to the top of your shoulder. Press your feet just mildly into the mat, scoop in the belly, round the low back, and lean back. Try to get the fingertips to the top of the knees if they were pressing down. You take a big breath in, breath out, keep that roundness, and go only as high as your wrists, like you're scrubbing your knees. And we come back down, take that breath in, breath out, pull yourself back up. The belly's going in and the arms are reaching up. So inhale, we roll down, maybe past your fingertips, but keep the roundness. You can tuck the chin even. Exhale, we push forward. It's nice to tuck the chin because the neck and the shoulders like to help us out. With our arms straight, it's like you're kind of blocking that momentum we get sometimes from pulsing the neck forward. So keep scrubbing your knees, like you're giving your knees a little wash up and down, up and down. This is a really nice kind of beginner's Pilates exercise to get that brace that happens right here at the bottom. Feel that low belly engage, pull yourself back up. Let's go for 3 more, counting down, lowering, pulsing up, keep the roundness till the very end. 2. Nice, and 1. And we get another little break. So if the hip flexors are kind of on fire, let's press the feet together, relax the knees open. You can hold your ankles and bow again. So in between, let the belly fall. Like in your yoga practice, sometimes you need to let go of those muscles. Now we'll take the legs really long. If you can sit up with a tall spine with your legs straight, you can go for that. If you need a little bend like me to get priority of the ribs in line with the pelvis, we bend them just a little, just a touch. And then take our hands behind our head. Press your head back into your hands. And already I noticed that I'm letting go of all that work. Let's just give that a little cinch. So with your elbows wide, it's going to be harder to pull your ribs in, but you can think of pushing the last rib down and lifting the sternum up. There's pressure in your head pressing back into your hands. We're going to take a breath in. So this is a stretch, but also working our obliques. Our obliques, take a breath in. Right elbow cuts across towards the left knee. Doesn't mean they have to touch, but once you're here, squeeze your belly in more and lift the left arm even higher. We're gonna stay, and on the inhale, you kind of look up at that left elbow. On the exhale, elbow comes down to meet the knee. We're crunching up here. So squeeze the belly in, inhale, lift that left elbow up high. So same side for now. Exhale, left elbow comes down, and you're getting really round. So we always say no rounding, but here we're really squeezing the ribs in. Last one, open up that elbow and push the arm up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round and pull in. Good. Inhale, and we come all the way back up. Stretch your arms out in a T shape. A really simple T shape. Turn the palms. So fingertips are facing outwards. Take a breath in. Squeeze the shoulder blades, move your hands behind you, and bow forward any amount. So like you're being cinched, and we'll do 3 of those. You come back up, inhale, widen the arms. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades and fall forward just as much as you squeeze. Get the triceps involved, stretch the fingers. And just one more breath in, we come up. Breath out, stretching back, but also using the muscles in the back body to get the arms to lift. Really nice. Shake them out for a second, then hands come behind your head. We'll do the other side. Yeah. So basically, Pilates becomes a abs and triceps workout. So pull the ribs in, stretch your neck long, and press your head back. Even this, you'll feel definitely some action up here. Breathe in. So I'm going across the other side. You won't see me. The left elbow goes to the right knee, or whichever side you did. Your inhale pulls the other elbow, the top elbow up higher. Breathe in. Breath out. Squeeze yourself down and find that pull of the ribs. 2 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, we come up, stretch that elbow, come all the way up, and take your hands by your sides and relax your feet, relax your ankles. Nice. And now we'll walk the hands. So I'm going a little fast, but we have a lot to do. So we'll take the hands a little bit behind us. Somewhere comfortable where you can bend your elbows. So you can take some of your weight into your elbows. They're not really tall. You want to use your hands. So bend the knees. Do a little curling and give your hands some weight. You can even test it by bending the elbows and pushing yourself up. Let's do that like 2 or 3 times just to see if you can feel that your triceps are there and awake and working. And go about halfway in a little bend. You're gonna squeeze the knees in. So the knees are coming in towards the chest. You can take a big breath in and push into your palms. Breath out, we're pushing an imaginary wall with the legs. So my legs go up a little higher because going straight forward is a little bit harder, but wherever you're at. So the inhale pulls us in, brace yourself with your hands, with your triceps. The exhale, kick the imaginary wall as far as you can go. And we're going for 4 more. So inhale pulls you in, brace with your palm. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, squeeze in, get that round shape on the squeeze. Exhale, push back, lean back, and kick forward. Just 2 more, it's a killer. Inhale. So heels can press together and lengthen the legs. And last one, breath in. Use your hands, use your back body. Legs come forward. Really nice. We'll take the legs down. Legs come out long again. Let's get into this side body a little bit. You're gonna start sitting on your sitting bones. Arms are by your sides. We're doing a little, like make kind of cute little bent elbow arms. What we're doing is we're turning the torso, landing on the forearm and kind of one of your butt cheeks. So kind of not the hip, not as far as the hip, on the butt cheeks. So it might feel a little weird, but you'll find the spot. Press into your forearm and kind of punch forward with the other arm. You'll find the obliques. The more you press into your bottom arm, you reach with the other, and you pull yourself back up to center and do the other side. So one forearm turns and comes down, the other arm punches out, but push the ground with the bottom arm. So we're gonna add on to that. Coming to center, we go on to one forearm. You can reach this arm any amount, but lift your legs if you can. Both legs come off of the mat. You're leaning onto your left or your bottom forearm, but not rolling the shoulder down. And let's go for 4 flutter kicks here. Your legs are floating. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. They come together, they come down, moving across and around to the other side. And leaning onto your bottom forearm, lifting the legs. You're balanced kind of on one side. Going for 4, kicking the legs. Push your arms so you don't fall into the shoulder. 3, legs don't have to be super long. 2 and 1. Let's do it one more time. Rolling to center. Rolling by using this belt around your abdomen. It's already built in there for you. Forearm comes down, legs lift. This is a perfect place to stay or try your flutter kicks. Forward and backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rolling on your bum, on your forearm, on your hip. Pressing the forearm, kicking 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Coming back to center. And we'll lie all the way down. So we're gonna get there the Pilates way though. So flex your feet, soften the knees, reach your arms forward. Like you're holding something between your arms just to get that belt back on. And you tuck the chin. They always say like you're holding an orange underneath from your throat to your chin. So not all the way in, but like holding it in. And pull the ribs back first. So almost like you're being pulled in to the drain from the belly button. You roll all the way down. Try to go as slow as you can and keep the connection with your heels in the mat until you come all the way down. Reach your arms over your head so the thumbs are going to the ground or close to the ground. Once you get there, interlace your fingers, point your toes, make yourself super long. And kind of relax the arms, but point and flex your toes, pulling the fronts of the ankles and pushing the heels. Nice. So from here, I'll reach the arms back over your head. For now, the palms are facing each other. So there's a little bit of like mind work, mind to body connection. So I talk about the ribs a lot, but really that's where the abdomen are. So we talk about our pelvis and we talk about our ribs, because we're working this whole section. So find your ribs and pull your ribs into the mat. So by doing that, it's going to activate all the abdomen. It's gonna activate for sure the upper ones, but get the lower ones involved too. So keep cinching that waist in with your arms reaching over your head. Press your ribs, both sides for now, and switch it up. Lift one of your hands higher than your other, lifting one side and pressing, squeezing, squishing one side, the side that's down even more into the mat. They call these rib rolls, and then switching your sides. This is kind of to articulate the difference between your sides. I know one of my sides of my ribs does not like to be pressed down. It takes me an extra second to say, what's going on? What do I need to push? So as you do this, see what else can help you, like thinking that your tailbone is getting longer. There's slight activation, slight hold in your glutes. So it's not like you're being super intense about any part of this. Because this is how we walk, this is how we breathe. It's kind of like a little reminder. And we have the nice feedback of the mat there. Good. When you think that you're in a place where both of your ribs can stay on the mat exactly where they are, so remember this feeling, take your hands to the tops of your hip creases. It doesn't have to be perfect, kind of just like above your thighs. We're going to cross the left leg underneath the right leg. You'll have two legs that are crossed. Flex your feet, that's important for now. And feel when you put one leg over the other, one hip felt like it maybe moved up a little bit higher. So we need to squeeze it down. When you squeeze that hip down, do your left ribs lift? Let's push those down. So even here, we start to activate our abdomen. The goal for this exercise is to keep this levelness of the pelvis using your low belly and using your ribs. We can have that same chin tuck. We're going to point the right toes, but keep the left leg pressing down. So left leg is your anchor, it's stable, it's pressing down. Right toes, kick up when they point. Inhale, flex, and cut down. So almost like you're sawing down. As much as you can, the leg is long. So point your toes, inhale up, flex your foot, exhale, slice it back down. You'll feel this after a few rounds, so keep going with your breath as slow or even as fast. Sometimes it's nice to get that blood moving. Inhale, point up. Exhale, squeeze down. Your stable side is in the mat, it's pushing against the mat, and your right hip is rolling down and not up. So let's count it out for 8, 7, 6, 5. Use your low belly more than just your hip flexors. 4. 3. Use your whole leg all the way up to the shin. 2. And 1. Really nice. Give your legs a little bit of a break, kind of 2 breaths, make them jello. Now keep them crossed. We have one more to do. Nice. So your left leg is still crossed, still smushed against the mat. Right toes are now pointed and only as high as the top of your left foot. So we're moving side to side, so you don't want them to crash into your toes. Hands could be on your hips if you like that to find that stability, or even on the ground. Sometimes we need extra help. So we point the toes. Toes are going inhale out. If we go too far out, we collapse completely in this hip. It's really only a few inches outwards. It's a lot. Flex the foot. Your leg is outer rotated and you bring it back in where it was. These can be the smallest movements and we're going for 10 total. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. My ribs are popping. Let's pull them down. Inhale, exhale, inhale. On your way in, use that whole side body up to the toes. Inhale, exhale, inhale, almost done. Exhale. So the more you flex the foot, the more of the leg you'll use. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Bend this right knee. It's gonna feel really nice to squeeze it in, like wind relieving pose, but make those left toes lazy too. It's a lot in the ankle. Nice. Now we'll take our hands right underneath the right hamstring. So like a big stretch. We've done this probably a few times in your life. We'll point the toes. We'll flex the foot. Still on the same leg, the one you just worked out. Maybe flexing that foot is a little tougher, a little crunchy. Good. Now we'll point the toes. We're going to tuck the chin in towards the throat. Keep your hands behind your hamstring. Take a big breath in. We're going to flex the left foot and push the left foot into the mat. Tuck the chin, push your ribs down to lift the shoulders. So every time something leaves the mat, whatever's left pushes more, and walk your hands up your leg but use the squeeze of your abdomen as if your forehead is gonna touch your knee. So take some flexibility, but even if your leg is down here, you can come up. Good. Once you're there, we'll try to lift the bottom leg. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Release your bottom leg and roll yourself back down. We'll try it one time. Keep your leg up high without using your hands. So hands reach in the same diagonal as your leg. If it's here, your arms are here. If your leg is up, it's up here. We tuck the chin in. We take a breath in, breath out. Push your ribs, lift your shoulders, push your low belly up, 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 reaching to your toes. Lifting the other leg if you can, even if it's just a feeling like it might lift, holding for 3, or it's on the ground for 2, for 1, and rolling yourself back down. And we're done with that leg. Relax it down. Now we're gonna cross, right leg under, left leg over, or whichever side you did, just switch it up. Pull those ribs back down. You can think of it also, instead of the ribs, almost like the sternum or the rhomboids, like anything that feels like it likes to pull away, push it down. Extend from your belly button to your pubic bone. Take your hands on your hips or on the ground, and we'll start. Point the toes. It also is nice for coordination. We're flexing the right foot and pushing it down, pointing the left toes. Left toes go up, inhale. Exhale, flex, point up. It's one motion from your toe to your hip. Exhale, point up. Exhale, up. Inhale, flex, exhale, up. Inhale, flex, exhale. Much as you can, no wobbling side to side too, that happens. So push your standing leg, or in this case, your laying leg. 3 more, pointing, lifting, inner thighs on fire, flexing, lowering. And maybe that was it. Now relax just for a second. You can relax your ankles. Let the breath be a little bit more free for 2 counts. So now a little bit more of a challenge. Wherever you need your hands, remember, like they say, balancing a cup of tea, right, on your low belly. We're going to flex the right foot, point the left toes just high enough that they can pass. Big breath in, lean to the opposite side of your leg that's lifted. Open it up just a few inches. Flex your foot, squeeze it back in, like your heel's going past the leg. That's 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. Flex. 3. Inhale, point, and flex. 4. Inhale. If your knee is bending, maybe let the leg go a little bit lower. We want a long, straight leg from the butt cheek all the way to your toes. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Last one. Inhale out. Exhale in. Bend that knee. Give yourself a nice squeeze. You deserve it. Stretch the back of the leg. Still, we want an even pelvis. You can be less strict about it. Nice. Then interlace your fingers and stretch your leg just however you need. Point the toes, flex the toes. You can make circles with your ankle one way or the other. And we'll tuck the chin in towards the chest. We're getting ready to go. And take a big breath in. Breath out, we're climbing up the leg, but we're really using the arms kind of secondary to the abdomen rounding. So think of this as like a crunch or a sit-up, but we're doing it really slow, so it gets really hard. Use that leg pulling forward. Squeeze the belly in, your head like lifts on its own, then the shoulders lift. See if you can walk your hands up your leg Keep that rounding, really nice rounding feeling. Once you get up here, continue to push the belly back. See if you can lift your other leg with the least amount of wobble, and we're gonna hold it for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release that leg down, roll back down your leg. So going in pieces and using, again, these pulleys of your arms to come down. And keep that leg up. One last time, if you're up for it, we're reaching the arms. So we're not gonna use our arms as pulleys, we're gonna use our abs as a pulley. Leg is on a diagonal. It helps me to point my toes just to know what my leg is doing. Taking a big breath in, breath out. The chin is going in towards the throat. I'm rounding on my spine, feeling each vertebrae peel off. Here's about where it gets hard. We need some momentum from maybe the bottom leg, but maybe not. And we reach up. See if you can lift your other leg up. Legs are in a scissor position, holding for 3, belly back, back, back for 2, and for 1. Really nice. Let's take the feet down. We're having this little seat. So we're gonna do that same kind of thing. We're gonna try it with 2 legs. Don't worry, we're only gonna do this 3 times. So legs come in some sort of lift. Could be bent, could be straight up, could be on a diagonal. The lower and straighter the legs, the bigger the challenge. So I'll keep mine about a little bit bent, a little bit diagonal. Reach your arms over your knees. Fingertips forward. The palms can face each other or be flat. I kind of like palms facing each other. We are rolling down, but keeping our legs where they are. So take a breath in. Breath out, squeeze that belly and go down away from your legs. Once you lie down, keep that curve. Let the head come down. Your legs are still lifted. Let the arms reach past your ears. Press your ribs. We're going back up. Take a big breath in, stretching your arms. Breath out, chin into your chest, ribs down. Here's the hard part. Squeeze your belly, keep your legs lifted and come up. Almost there. Breath in, breath out, peel yourself down. You can look at your belly button. You're going for a ride down the spine. Reach the arms over your head. If you need to tap the toes down for a second, we're going up one more time and that's it. Breath in at the top, underneath your armpits. Breath out, belly in, ribs back. Lift yourself up without wobbling too much. And once you're there, hold your shins and round forward. So now something kind of fun. It's called rolling like a ball. So what we just did probably is a lot more challenging. This part's just a little bit fun. So take your hands underneath your hamstrings. Come onto your tippy toes. Lift your tippy toes off of the mat and find the same rounding ball shape we've been doing. It's okay if the knees are close. If they're far, you just want to be comfortable. Tippy toes are off the mat. They can always go back down to the mat if you need. The challenge is we're rolling back, but not falling back with the spine. We're really doing that same articulation a little bit fast and coming up and not letting your toes touch the ground. Going back on an inhale. So inhale back, exhale forward without the toes touching the ground. If you need to, if you overshot it, that's okay. We're trying again. And just 2 more. Inhales rolling back, exhales coming up, and inhale rolling back, exhale rolling up. Next time, inhale, roll back. Stay there, lie down. And let's reach the arms really long by your sides. So long arms, triceps are in the mat. And lift your knees back up. Good. So it's kind of hard to talk and do this, but we're gonna have the chin tucked. These are called like hip ups or roll backs. So same kind of concept, we've been rolling, but this time the legs are going over the head. We need to engage the arms. They need to be planted down to the ground. Feel the tops of your shoulder tips back, feel the ribs, feel the rhombus. Take a breath in. You can use a swing of your knees, but tuck the chin, so protect your neck and engage the belly. So there is stuff happening if we know it or not. Think of that round shape. Breathe in, breath out. The knees go past, press into the backs of your arms and roll down, resist gravity as slow as you can, maybe going for 3, 2, 1, and the butt comes down. Even if it's just 2 counts, try to slow that gravity, and we'll do 2 more. Inhale, rolling back. Exhale, pushing into the backs of your arms and releasing the spine as slow as you can. Try to keep the head down, not like me. That's a killer for the triceps. Last one. Breath in, up. Think the hips are going high, not only over your head. Exhale, roll down as slow as you can. Good. And once you're there, put your arms out in a T shape with the palms facing up. And a really simple stretch. The knees come together. Let the knees fall to one side. Look over the other. And swing your knees back, knees touch, and they go to the other side. Closer to your arm or further away. It's really just a stretch. You know, bring yourself back to center. We'll switch it up and come to our hands and our knees. So kind of like a tabletop position in yoga. We have our hands down, our knees down. For a second, with your hands down and your knees down, relax your belly completely and see what happens to that shape. So sometimes it's nice on Zoom, you can kind of see yourself. It kind of helps to see the shapes that we're working with. So let your belly relax and then do the opposite. Do that cinching of the belly. Notice it's not really my tailbone that's starting it. It's the belly button lifting. Then my ribs have more space to open up and my shoulders slide back. I'm a big fan of this bear pose. It's a really nice way to get the abdomen connected to the hamstrings. Let's tuck your toes under and lift the knees off the ground. Closer the knees are to the ground without touching is a little bit harder. We're looking for the same shape in the spine. So not suddenly is it a downward facing dog, the knees are close. Really simple, we're holding this for 3, for 2, and for 1, the knees come down and relax your belly. So holding positions is different than doing reps of positions, and it's nice to work with both. What we're gonna do now, adding on to this, your toes are tucked, your belly cinching in, so coming from the relaxed belly to the pull of the belly. We inhale, we exhale, we peel the knees off the ground, and just like before, we hold for 3, 2, 1, resisting with your feet. Keep your knees bent, walk your hands towards your feet until the heels come down to the mat. If you can, the knees are still bent. Send your bum back, send weight into your heels, and come like into a powerful pose or a squat. We call it ribs in line with the pelvis, arms reaching forward if you can. Frame your ears for 3, for 2, ribs in, for 1. Coming down, keep those knees bent if you can. Land your hands, walk the hands down, back into your bear pose. Always, if you need to drop your knees, don't be shy. 3, 2, 1. Almost there. Walk your hands back. Keep your knees bent. Probably your thighs are burning. Heels come down, back into your powerful pose. 3, lean back. Lean into the glutes. 2, 1. Last time, I promise. Hands come down. Inner thighs are burning. Walking your hands. Bear pose, knees are floating if you can do it. No lazy belly, press into your toes. 3, 2, 1, let's come up. Onto the feet, stretch your arms. 3, 2, 1, and stand up. It's gonna feel so good to stand up. You'll feel super tall, like you can float off of the mat. Good. So from standing, we're gonna bend our knees and walk all the way into a plank pose. So sometimes they call this like inchworms, I think. We're gonna do it kind of in a Pilates way. Arms reach forward. You're sending the hips back and the tailbone long and finding not complete roundness, but imagine roundness until you come down and you can reach. Walking your hands forward without losing the connection of your feet and of those hamstrings. So almost your plank becomes like a relief. Head is a little higher than the ribs that are a little bit higher than the hips. Pressing into your palms, kind of like the last finisher will do. You're gonna point the toes in your right foot. Take a big breath in, push like crazy into your hands. Breath out, see how high you can lift that leg. And we'll switch it up. Point the toes in your left foot. Kick it up behind you like there's a string on the hamstring. Good. Back into your plank pose. Drop your knees down to the ground. Come onto your forearms. Now we're in a forearm plank pose. For this, you can come onto your fists. We just need kind of like power in the arms. So if you prefer your palms, you can always do that. We're still on our knees for now. You're gonna take your hands or your fists into the mat all the way up to the elbow and tuck the toes, lift the knees. We're in our forearm plank. This could be enough and you hold, or we tap one knee down to the ground without giving it all the weight. It's really just a tap and a straighten and a tap and a straighten and go for a little walk in your forearm plank. We're going 4, 8, 7, 6, straighten every time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees down, child's pose. Keep it active. Stretch the triceps from the fingertips. Relax your head. And we'll do one more plank variation. Well, the same one. Coming back onto your hands, tucking your toes, and lifting your knees off of the ground. This time, you're gonna press into your left hand, take a big breath in, squeeze your glutes and lift your right hand forward. Breathe in, tap it back down. Other side, inhale, stretch your left arm. Exhale, tap it back down. Same with your legs, tuck or point the right toes, breathe in, lift the leg breath out. Lower it back down. Tap the left toes down, lift it up. It's all coming from your core. Nice, knees come down, same thing, come onto your forearms. Forearm plank, stretch one leg back, stretch the other leg back. If you liked the marching with both knees, you can stick with that. If not, we're doing taps of the knees at the same time. Take an inhale, tap your knees, exhale. Inhale, stretch the heels back. Exhale. So 3, we're going up to 8. You can always switch back to one knee at a time. 5. Separate your shoulders, 3. Squeeze your bum. 2. And 1. Back into a child's pose. Knees a little bit wider now. Arms are long, press into your palms. Just thread it out, big circle with your left arm. Reach past to the low back and weave your arm through. Rest your ear and relax down. And then push your palm. We'll switch your sides. You can stay longer. Reach the arm. Make sure you do a big full circle with the arm. Then weave it under and rest your head. Nice. And we'll end just back in the same way we started. Your thighs are touching, your feet are underneath you. Rest your palms on your lap. You're going tall out of your head and finding a neutral pelvis even here. Like when we were doing our little leg kicks, try to feel the pulleys that connect from the rib cage all the way to your hips, and feel if one pulley is a little bit tighter, if one side of your waist is a little cinched, if you're holding through your toes or your shoulder or one side of your jaw. Just evening things out and sending breath in all four corners of your torso. Nice, and you can stay as long as you need. But thank you so much for joining.